All right, my friends, it's time for Glory Wars. What we're going to try to do here is attack and control and defeat Alliance Center 1. And our enemy is going to try to do the same thing. That is the core strategy. That is the path to victory. Now, if neither captures Alliance Center 1, the alliance with the greatest amount of points is going to win the Glory War. Now, the Glory War is critical because you get to keep 20% of your opponent's season points. We are going up against the 11th ranked alliance. They have about 1.9, almost 2 million points. That's a nice little bump to our total because we're only 150 million points away from first place with AFO, which I'll circle back to in a moment. Now you can see here how we have set up. There's two schools of thought. You either place your buildings close together like we have and then surround with an outward perimeter of bases to make it difficult for the opponent to reach your Alliance Center 1, or you pull up every single building, only place a naked Alliance Center in the middle, and surround that with your HQs. And that might be what our opponent is doing on the other server, which I'll zoom over to quickly. But we're not going to do that. It's a lot of work, and we're going to rely on our raw power and see if that's the winning strategy for us. Now you can see here I planted flags here. I want active defenders when the battle starts to be up in this northern perimeter so they can come down and start attacking any tanks that start trying to carve their way towards our Alliance Center, as well as reinforcing any of these little buildings here in their path so that it makes it harder for them to take those down, cost them more fuel, and kills troops. On this perimeter on the eastern edge, I want defenders who will not be active during battle simply to create buffer. That makes it a long travel, long journey for them to get there. And then same thing down here with our farms. And we may have assistance from 8818, who, if they assist us, we can assist them. Their battle is not till much later at 1 hour before reset against the top-ranked alliance who we are going head-to-head against in the point total for season. So it's in our interest for 8818 to win that battle. So we will ask them to deploy wherever the hot zone is, wherever our enemy lands. But hopefully, let me go to server 232 now. Hopefully we will be keeping them busy enough on defense by blitzkrieging the ever-loving hell out of them. Way over here toward their area. Let me find the flag. There it is. I do not know what these guys are doing. Initially, I thought they were taking the Naked Alliance strategy, which is pulling up all these buildings and simply surrounding with headquarters. Instead, I don't know. Maybe they just moved it closer to where their main hive was. We're going to be watching tonight to see how they set up, if they do anything different.
Open the garage, boys.
It's also possible that they've created such a mega cluster on their western flank that they might have pulled in an ally or a friend who intends to beam over and surround the other edge, making it very difficult for us to drive all the way down to their Alliance Center and also score points because there's not as many buildings to destroy as we have surrounding our building. And like I said before, two ways to win: point total or capturing the Alliance Center. Henry and Jay June and our strongest R3 players are going to deploy and try to do two different flanks to spread our opponents thin. So we've got an easy path up here in this northeastern corner and a little bit of a longer path to the south, but it's manageable if we can get there. So pinch or move. We're going to go straight at that Alliance Center and try to blow that up and end this thing quickly. If we can do that, hooray, hurrah, then we can just continue to blow up buildings on Alliance Center 2 and 3, which they've placed somewhere. I'll have to go find out where those are. Here's 1, here's 3. More buildings we can blow up there. If that's the case, it's going to be fun because then everybody can just get tons of points and we can maximize our reward total. Couple programming notes. This is going to cost a lot of fuel. It's about 5 or 6 hits per building to blow them up at a fuel cost of 5 rounds each of fuel. And also you're going to have TVT defending and attacking you. So that means a lot of troops are going to the hospital, my friends. So that means be wise about your speed ups. We also have SVS this weekend. So keep that in mind. I would be healing 100 to 300 troops at a time, so long as there's enough people online to hit those helping hands a lot. We can heal faster. The other thing I would mention is shields should not be necessary. During the Glory War, you do not have to use shield. You're not allowed to hit headquarters. However, I've read that however the game's designed, I think it's possible that once the war ends, if you're still on each other's servers, your headquarters then actually becomes vulnerable until you go back. So be cautious. Be cognizant of what's going on around you. Don't get lazy. Just be aware at all times because we're trying to learn all of this as well. The other thing I will note is that we're going to learn a lot. This is going to be potentially a difficult battle. We chose an opponent who's in 11th place on purpose so that we could learn on them. But anything could happen. We don't know who their friends are or allies inside their own server. They could easily come and repel, and we could have a little bit more than we bargained for. We don't know. So the only caution in our plan is a lot of our winning strategy depends on blowing up that Alliance Center. They have, at least if they're going the way I think they do, they're going to have more opportunities to score points off our buildings. But I'm counting on everybody to put forth a very strong defense so our offense team can do their job and keep them busy. That's it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. If you don't understand what your role exactly should be or would like to volunteer to do something, just hit us up. If you don't talk, we don't know. Communicate and conquer. Thanks, everyone. Bye.